What's going on, everybody? Coming at you with some more One Piece gameplay. Today we're going to be having the Red-Green Law face off against Kaido. Kaido is one of those decks that is just super duper strong, and also one of those decks that is really affordable. So if you are looking for a deck to play that's really affordable, but also you don't want to spend, a bajillion dollars on the game, because it's super expensive right now, even just buying singles, especially decks like Zoro, or Red Green Law. Kaido, I think, is probably the best deck to play if you want to be competitive. Before we get in, I just want to thank everyone again for all the support. I really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's hop in the game. Kaido's going to start off with the infamous turn 1 pass, and then I will play Nami and Chopper, and then I'll reveal top 5 here. And I'll take a unblockable Luffy. This card is super great in the matchup because they like to play Queens. Queens is really important for their deck, and not having it's nice. So him putting a Dawn underneath here, I'm going to counter the Notama. This shows me he doesn't have Onigashima Island in his hand, and that's probably the best case scenario if you're playing against Kaido, because that card is super good. I'm going to swing leader here, force either a counter out or the blocker be used. He's going to use a 1k counter here. I'm going to pay 1 to play a Bonnie, and then I'll play a Beige, and then I'll tap Bonnie here. Reveal top 5. Again, I'm trying to fill my hand up. I got 4 bodies on board, which means next turn I'll be live. Getting the Zoro here is really nice for my curve. I'm going to leave the 1 up because I do have Paradise Waterfall in hand. This is a card that I've added to my deck because I think it's just super duper strong, and it feels really impactful in certain situations. Being able to restand blockers is really nice, especially when you have the 5 cost law. He's going to swing at my Bonnie, and I'm not going to let that protect that because, Paradise Waterfall, I would still have to drop another counter even with that, even though I restand her. So he will swing at me, and I'll take that 1. I'm okay with taking a life here, and he'll drop another blocker. And I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot here. I have 6 Dawn up. I know I have a Zoro in hand. So I'm going to pay 3 to drop the killer to pop the blocker here. And that's always nice, right? You like to see that. And then I'm going to add 2 Dawn underneath my law here, and I'm going to swing face because 7k is super awkward to play against. And yeah, he's going to be forced to take a life there. And I'm feeling pretty good. I still have 2 blockers on board, and I have 2 guys who could potentially swing next turn. With Killer and Nami, being able to bounce back Nami for more search is always nice. The law deck really kills you with card advantage. That's how you play the game. He's going to swing at me with 5k. This is probably telling me that there's a 7-drop king coming out. And I'm going to play Paradise Waterfall to counter that. I don't really want to lose more than 2 guys here. So 7-drop king comes out, and that's okay. He's probably going to plop both my 1-cost blockers or the Nami, so I can't get more cycle out. He's going to pop Killer and Beige to get the green sources off my board, which is pretty smart. Getting law down to just, 1 color source is fine. But I do have 8 Dawn here, and he hasn't really done much damage to me, whereas I forced a lot of cards out of his hand. And not having Onigashima Island means that king, that -2 Dawn for the king, does feel pretty bad. He has 5 cards in hand right now, and I'm going to go ahead and play Zoro Swing Face. I think it's important. I'll play another Zoro Swing Face here. And then I'll take another life. That's big. And then I'll swing leader at face here, which I'll counter with an ulti. And then I'll pass back turn with 2 up. 2 up because I want to threaten Firehawk to pop his blocker. Or I want to threaten Punk Gibson. There's lots of different cards that Trafalgar Law can be playing, green or red. Firehawk's really good in the situation. I could play another Paradise Waterfall as well. He'll swing at my Zoro here, and I think that's a mistake. He should have loaded up his blocker. Otherwise, another king could come down here, which is fine, but I want to protect at least one thing here, and being able to pop his blocker is pretty impactful. I'm just asking him, what's in his trash, what he got in hand. So I'll let the first Zoro go. I think that's fine. I think only protecting 1 is necessary. He'll swing. He's thinking about what he wants to do. He's going to go ahead and he's going to load up his leader to swing at my Zoro, and I'll block that. And then he's going to load up his blocker to swing at my Zoro, which is fine. That's okay. Using all the Dawn on that and not playing any bodies is fine for me because I didn't take any damage to my life that turn. And while I lost 2 Zoros, it's fine because, unblockable loser thing. I'll swing Nami at his blocker. He's not going to protect that. There's no point. And again, just getting more bodies off the field. And then I swing at his king here. I force him to protect it. And he can't afford to protect it at this point. Just because at this point he'll be pitching too many cards. And I'll swing another Zoro at face. And he's down to 2 life. And I pass back with 3 Dawn up. And, 4 Dawn up here, which means I'm threatening double Firehawk, which is tough to deal with, honestly. I don't really have anything else in hand other than I think I have an unblockable Luffy, but I could have a Firehawk in hand, so he's going to go ahead and, you know, play the Rush Kaido to pop my Zoro, which is, again, it's inconsequential at this stage of the game. He swings at Nami, and anything that he's not swinging at my life is fine, because he's got 2 life to my 2 life, and I know that I'm feeling pretty good here, because he has no Dawn available, so he can't use any Blast Breaths or anything like that. I can load up my leader and swing at life. Swing at his Kaido if I want to. I can play an unblockable Luffy and swing at life. So there's lots of different plays that I can make here. Lots of different things that I can do. And I'm just trying to think about the best play to make in the situation based on the cards in my hand. I don't want to give up too much, but I don't want that Kaido to stay on board. So I think the thing that I'm thinking about here is just loading up my Law to just drop on his Kaido, because he's got no Dawn active. He's only got 4 Dawn, which means that at most he'll have 6 Dawn next turn. And so I'm just talking to him. It's like, I'm just trying to think about how much I want to load up my leader, because getting rid of this Kaido is actually huge. So I'm going to go basically everything at him to stop him, and then I'll play a Choni Chopper, protect my life. And then I have 3 cards in hand, and again, 6 Dawn here. Sure, he'll swing 6k. I mean, I block that easily, and then he'll play a Queen, which is fine for me. Because I have unblockable Luffy in my hand, and he only has 2 life left. And I also have a Killer, so that's always nice. Killer's a super great card. So I'll load up awkwardly at 8k to see if he wants to counter that or block that. And then this also leaves me enough up to play an unblockable Luffy. So I'm just going to play a Rush Luffy here. And I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna load him up to 8k and swing at Queen. I don't want that to stay alive, and it can't stay alive. And then I pass back turn here. And this is an awkward situation, because he's at 7 Dawn here. He can drop a King if he wants to. Doesn't really do anything. I'm just showing that I have a Firehawk, a Killer in hand. And at this point, Kaido's playing damage control. He doesn't know what I have in hand, so he doesn't know if I can protect my Luffy. If I do protect Luffy, then it's pretty much over for him. So he's gonna play X-Ray to trash a card from my hand, and at that point I'm just like, you know what, see you later, Killer, don't need you. He's gonna load up there at my Luffy, or I pitch a card, but I'm not sure exactly what card I pitched actually. May have been Firehawk actually, now that I think about it, because I wanted to keep cards in hand. And he's playing X-Ray because he just needs bodies on the board. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, you have 2 life left, what's the best way to play this? I go ahead and swing 9 at leader. Awkward number to deal with. I go ahead and I play a Law. And then I play a Chopper. And my life is pretty safe this turn. At most, he's got 2 swings. I can protect my Law. I can take shots to life. I'm not really worried about anything that he has. Rush Kaido could come out here, which is fine for me. But, I mean, even so, X-Ray trashed the last card from my hand. And he's got no blockers, and he's in a pretty awkward scenario. He swings my life, and that's honestly fine to me. I don't care if I take that swing. And so now I'm thinking, like, well, he's got a couple cards in hand here, 1 life left. I can just load up my Trafalgar Law and my Chopper here, and force him to deal with 2 awkward swings. So I swing 10k, and then I swing 11k, and there's no way that with no Dawn he can counter it. And that's going to be game. If you guys do enjoy the gameplay, continue to watch, continue to observe, and like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting. And I will be coming out with some deck lists next week prior to the Treasure Cup, which is on Saturday in February, next weekend. It's super exciting, only 8 days away. And I'm very, very excited. So all this preparation, hopefully it is not for naught. Until next time, Monty out.